Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting. If we could take our seats, thank you. Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting for Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. We have in attendance with us the following city officials.
Mayor Kathy Patazero-Perry.
Good evening.
Safety Service Director Burl Sylvester.
Present.
Chief Counsel Bill Bartos.
Present.
Economic Development Director David Maley.
Present.
Is there anyone else from administration that I might have missed? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17 is where the public can speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to remind everyone, please, to mute your cell phones or turn them off. And council, when you're not speaking, if you could turn your mics off, that would greatly be appreciated. Thank you. Roll call.
Kramer.
Present.
Gregg.
Here.
Marvin Smith.
Here.
Vernon Kane.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Lombardi.
Here.
Slutes. Sneed.
Here.
And Barrett.
Present.
Roll call of 8 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman Lewis.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we excuse Councilman Slutes.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call.
Gregg.
Yes.
Harwood Smith.
Yes.
Vernon Kane.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Lombardi.
Yes.
Sneed.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
And Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes to excuse Councilman Slutes.
Thank you. Councilman Lewis has been excused. Councilwoman Howard Smith.
For the invocation, I'd like everyone to stand and say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen.
Now pledge allegiance.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman Howard Smith. Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Are there any additions or corrections to be made?
No, they are not.
Thank you. The minutes stand approved as written. We're at number 5 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, topic you wish to discuss. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes, and on the back table back there, there's a place for you to sign in with your address.
Good evening, everyone. This is ballot number 5.
Excuse me, your name and address, please.
David Ramsey, 2993 Sunnybrook Street, Northwest, Massillon, Ohio, 44647. This is about Lick and the replat for for building more houses on that lane. This Christmas, I got to spend with my basement torn apart. He decided that he was going to start digging before the water main was marked. So he hit the water main while the sewer pipe was open. And 3 houses on our street had sewer forced up to the toilets into their homes. So that's why I'm against it.
Thank you. If you'd sign in, please, thank you. Anyone else?
Can we talk about 5 again?
You can talk about anything on the agenda this evening.
Okay. I'm an unofficial capacity to my company. So I live at 1765 Greendale, Matthew Shelfon.
What's your name?
Matthew Shelfon.
Thank you, Matthew.
Catty corner from said corner lot. He'd come down here and wanted 4 houses, had it measured out for 4 houses, And by building one house at a time, he got away from, I was involved in building a $24 million building that we built in Hudson for the company. And we had to go through the topographical map phase where water runoff and everything was considered. So by doing one house at a time, he's getting away from that. He has changed the lay of the land, and it used to be a dip where the first house is, and he made that a really smooth runoff. And also by adding hard surface, there's probably going to be, there's additional roof runoff, plus the runoff of sidewalks and driveways and what else is going to be there. So on the side towards Raynell, there is a small indentation, which used to be like adequate for a ditch. But he put in a side road. I don't know if it's just access for construction, whatever, but he just laid in gravel, no pipe, no drainage. Now what happens is when it rains hard, it zips right across the road because of the grass and everything's all smooth. It used to be more weeds and trees and things that would take in that water. Now the water runoff just shoots on there. And
Now,
you
if you
guys-
speak up and into the mic, she can't record you, thank you.
the new section of road you just made, where it ends right there, it just pours across there. So if you have or you cannot get rid of that water quick enough, that will freeze underneath that base. That'll just ruin that new asphalt you put down. So they need to go in and fix the drainage there before they even put more houses in. The more houses you put in, the more drainage problem you're going to have. So, and I believe it's R3 out there, and if it's R3, 900 foot of frontage must be had, I think. So when I went out and measured, it's like the way he's got it plotted out now with 4 houses, he's about right there, you know, because he's got odd pieces that just won't work. And then on the other side is Stark County Sewer, which I'm hooked to, and he's hooking to the Massillon side, which is on the west side. So his other part of the property drops down, so he would need a lift station to get it up over the hump so it would drain properly. And so, you know, adding the 5th house, I don't know how that's going to happen. And right now, in front of my house, I bet that is 12 feet deep where that pipe lies in the earth. And there's like lots of clay, and there is a sandstone substrate. So drainage over there is real bad. And so it's just like, we're not trying to keep him from making a living. We're trying to keep him within the confines of what is legal to your code. You know?
Thank you, Matthew. Matthew, if you could sign the paper, please. Thank you. Anyone else? Come on up.
My name is Harry Burris. I live at 185 Harmony Street, Northwest, across the street from where this contractor is building these houses. I'm the first person to ever build a home. I buy my home in that allotment 60-some years ago, and I have never seen anybody build anything like this contractor is doing to us out there now. And a lot of the problem is coming from the city of Massillon Building Department. I hate to say that. I've done business with them myself. But for some reason, they're bending over backwards to give this guy variances and leads what he don't deserve. Excuse me. That one house, on the 3 houses that he built across from the street, he could have only built 2 homes, but the city found it, or the planning department found it where they could give him a variance from one house to another to allow them to get another house in there. And he's still wanting to do more houses on the other acres that he's got to build on. And there's, 3 more acres he might have there. But of thought here. Anyway, I'll get it here.
Go ahead.
I'm an old man and I lose my train of thought. When we confronted the city about what he was doing out there, they deny all this stuff. But yet we know it's going on. And you don't know how much we have been after this guy to get the city to make him do what's right, and what Mr. Chaffon says is true. He came out there without even having a permit to dig those lines across the street. He hit the water line. We've had not just 3 homes get sewage back up, but we also had just recently another one across the street from me that had some sewer back up. And the city had to come out and open up that drain going down Sunnybrook. The other one is Mr. Chaffon there had said about the water flowing across the street is because this contractor don't do anything that he should do. The city our building department isn't doing what they should do, but they would have made him put a culvert across there instead of just filling that ditch in with gravel. I mean, I've been in the building trades all my life, and I know what he's doing, and what he's doing is just, he's doing everything he can to screw us over, to screw my language. And we're doing everything we can to put a stop to him. All we want him to do is do it right according to the rules. Oh, I know what I want to say. The city said all of our allotment and every home that's ever been built out there is on 100 by 200 lots, except on the south side of Sunnybrook. Those lots could vary in length, but the width was still there. And when the city said that they allowed from 100-foot lots, they allowed it to go down to 90. Well, they gave this contractor a variance of another 10 feet, 80, so he could get another house in there. That's wrong. That is totally wrong. You want to build the houses, and damn it, build them according to the city laws. And quit giving this man all these breaks because the city can get money from now to eternity for the houses that he's building. We know that, and we're not against that, but we want him to do it right. If you're going to have a 90-foot lot, and we'll accept the 90-foot lot, but now he's wanting to come in and change the lot sizes again for the rest of these houses that he can't put as many as he wants to put on there. And that's what I'm trying to get across the city, is to put a stop to this contract, make him live to the rules. And we shouldn't have to fight for this. I'm getting too old to be standing here arguing about this contractor. And now another family up there, when he bought this family tells me that I thought he was self-insured, but he said he's covered by an insurance company. Now the insurance companies don't want to honor their claim against him for all this sewage that was backed up in their homes. That's all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Harry. Anyone else?
Hi, I live at 190 Harmony Street, so there's only one house between ours and where Kevin's
Your
building.
name?
Sarah Apholder. And there's only one house between me and the new lots where Kevin's building. There is always problems down there. And I think Kevin would know if he's in the wrong. And if he does, he always fixes it. I don't understand why there's always issues. The house I had bought off of him. He has done work for me after that as well. But no matter what, they're always picking on this guy. Small little things, biggest little thing. I understand the sewage backup, but I also know they're paying for that too. So I myself had sewage backup, not at the same time they did, In mine, they wanted to blame it on him. It had nothing to do with him. It was the city's problem. It was a city backup issue. But that's the first thing that they want to do. Oh, another one at Kevin's, another one at his. And that's not true. Sometimes I know we're neighbors, and he's trying to make our housing more valuable. So I don't understand why there's always such issues when this man wants to do some work. If there's a tree limb, shoot, they'll probably call about it or something. That's just how it has always been there. And I've only been there six years. And it's like, it's a constant battle. When they go from one neighbor to a new neighbor, they move in and they try to recruit that new neighbor to go on to their thinking on how he works. That's not right. If I have a problem, I say, I can contact the guy. I have no problem with that. And I sort of wish the neighbors would just, I don't know all the codes, and I don't pretend to act like I know. But it's just that it's not this or that. It's just everything together. So it's like no matter what this guy does, there's always an issue. And they make it a big issue. And it's a constant thing, talking from household to household to household and household. And it just keeps going. And it needs to stop. Let the guy make the housing. It's improving our value of our home. I am not against that. So I just don't understand why. Let him help the community. I mean, he helps us. He would help anybody. Any one of these neighbors that even don't like him, he would help any one of them. All they have to do is, just ask, talk to the guy. He's not a bad guy. If he's wrong, like I said, he will fix it. They were talking about the gravel. Okay, so he put blacktop over it. Okay, we did have winter, and the street plows do take that out because Lord knows I got a lot of the gravel in my yard. That's not that. And before he dug, I am also going to say those water lines were marked because I've seen them myself before he started digging. So what if people have to be there? I don't know. But I do know that those lines were marked before he even started to dig. And so he's trying, put the gravel in. He put blacktop over it just to cover over the gravel. I get that. But sometimes these people want it like right now. Weather plays a part in a lot of things and everything else. In the end, I think he will do what he has to do. And there again, I'm not saying I understand what protocols he has to do or anything like that. I don't know all that. And I don't, like I said, I don't pretend like I do. But talk to them. People don't got to be calling all the time. This problem, that problem. I mean, come on, it's a community. We should be able to talk to our neighbors. We should be able to work it out. And, instead of going as far as we go. And I think that sort of just needs to be put down. And, I have a problem with none of my neighbors. Whether they like me or not, I don't know. But I would help any one of them that had asked, would ask, or we would, my husband would too. We're that kind of people. And he is too. So I guess that's about what I want to say. He has treated us good. We've always treated him with respect, so if you treat him with respect, he's going to treat you with respect. And these things won't even go as far as they go. It's sort of ridiculous how it works. So I just, keep an open mind on that as well.
Thank you, Sarah. Keep your time. Paper. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Lauren Ramsey. I live at 2993 Sunnybrook Street, Northwest. I'm one of 3 homes whose basements were flooded when Mr. Glick severed the sewer line in Massillon. Of course, the first thing you do when you have a problem is you go straight to the source. You ask Mr. Glick himself what happened. So he pulled up on his phone a diagram of an old map from Massillon City and said, well, I looked at this map and the water lines were here according to the map. So that's where I dug. I said, did you wait for the city? So he kind of gave us the runaround. So of course, I didn't really get very far with Mr. Glick. I sent an email immediately to Frank Silla. I got a response back from Massillon City's engineering team, Greg McHugh, who said the following. I believe Mr. Glick began excavating immediately after calling the Ohio Utility Protection Service in lieu of waiting 48 hours. The city's sewer inspector was notified by a text at 12:49 that day from our own technician, Mr. Glick was excavating and needed an inspection. The city's sewer inspector arrived on site at 1:15 p.m. and it was apparent that the water line was broken. Our sewer inspector immediately called his contact at Aqua Ohio to notify them of the situation, as Mr. Glick was frantic and unsure who to call. Aqua crews arrived on site at approximately 1:45 p.m. to repair their water line severed by Mr. Glick. I was notified by our sewer inspector as Aqua crews were making the repair that a large amount of water was infiltrating into our sanitary sewer system and causing back-ins on Sunnybrook. 3 back-in calls were logged at our wastewater plant facility. The city dispatched a sewer crew, and they attempted to make certain that there was not a blockage in the sewer line at that location. It was reported that there was an extraordinary amount of water in that line, and the line was not able to handle the flow due to the break. We notified our wastewater plant operations that if anyone additional was to call, take down their information and provide them with Mr. Glick's insurance information. Our basement was ruined before Christmas, and we were supposed to host. It was an absolutely devastating time. It was something else just seeing the walls and the floor being ripped out of our home. And I just feel like if Mr. Glick is to continue to do anything in our neighborhood, that it needs to be done according to Massillon's code and not according to a diagram on his phone. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Laura. Lauren, did you sign in?
I did.
Thank you.
I am Devin Glick. I am Kevin's son. We have been doing business for 30-some years before I was even born. We do everything to the code, what we're provided with, what they ask of us, and everything. The road is permanently fixed. The gravel was torn out, there was concrete put down, and asphalt put over it. We will not need to dig up the road anymore. We are done tying into anything, so there should be no more problems with that. The gravel, the one of them was talking about next to the road, there will be a culvert put in there, installed soon. I'm planning on building a house for myself there, is what I was hoping to do. It's been taking a lot longer than expected, about 6 months. I was hoping to be in the house by now, but it's not happening because of what's going on. But we do try to do everything to the codes and everything that the city is asking of us. We are still trying to meet those as to get this through, whatever we have to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll move into new and miscellaneous business. Does anyone have anything? Introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 35, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to transfer 2.8257 acres, of which 2.6082 acres from parcel 680220 and 0.2175 acres from parcel 680671 from the western portion of 401 Walnut Road Southwest, located in Massillon, Ohio, from the City of Massillon to the Community Improvement Corporation of Massillon, CIC, and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Kramer?
Thank you, Madam President. At the work session, we had spokesperson Matt Hall from the Boys and Girls Club who spoke to us and stated that with council's approval moving forward, their hopes is to build a new facility on that parcel. He stated that the new facility is needed to expand outreach, expand program offering, and increase efficiencies. It's going to be, he stated, approximately an 18-month project and hopefully start in the spring or summer of 2022. If economic, they may come up and just give us any additional information he may have regarding this request and answer any questions that council may have.
Mr. Mayor, you can come up here. Thank you.
Yes, because I just got a message from one of the participants that they're having a hard time understanding because people are not speaking into their mics.
When I was off the last 2 weeks, I could not hear one thing, not one thing.
Madam Chair, I think you pretty much covered it. This is for the Boys and Girls Club. It's a property that the city owns as part of the street department, which is on the lower side of the property. We currently lease that section of property to the Boys and Girls Club. It's a 99-year lease. I think we're in the 20th, somewhere in that year. We are looking to basically turn that parcel over to CIC, and then CIC would put claim deed over to the Boys and Girls Club for a new facility that they've built. Now, the other question we went through last week was that we are in the process of replatting it. So we would require to get a new parcel number as soon as that comes through, and we are able to record it. We will get a new parcel number and then amend this ordinance to include the parcel number.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Mayor? First reading. Thank you. Ordinance number 35, 2022 has received first reading. Ordinance number 36, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio to enter into an agreement with K.C. Conkle to provide an economic development inducement grant to fund startup costs, including build-out, equipment, etc., for Casey's Play Care, located at 209 Ohio Avenue Northeast, Massillon, Ohio.
Councilman Hurricane.
Thank you, Madam President. First reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 36, 2022 has received first reading. Ordinance number 37, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1234 Parks and Recreation Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this is an appropriation of $210,000 to be utilized by the Legends, a lot of it for their sand traps or bunker repairs and other needed updates to the facilities. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 37-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Howard Smith.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 37, 2022 has passed. Ordinance number 38, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1237 Economic Development Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
First reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 38, 2022 has received first reading. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none, are there any petitions in general communications?
Yes, we have a request for a new liquor license for Don't Pass Go LLC, doing business as Don't Pass Go, located at 805 Wales Road Northeast, Massillon, Ohio, 44646. Permit class is D1 and is located in Ward 1. And Lombardi, I think I forgot to send you.
I do not have a copy of
Do not, okay.
So you will get that
I will
tonight.
make that yes.
Thank you.
And there either. I will give those to you tonight. And then we have a request for a new liquor license for Ventura Communications Incorporated from Magoo Properties LLC, doing business as the Shops of Wayground Center, located at 12990-98 National Road Southwest, Etna Township, Pataskala, Ohio, and 43062, to Ventura Communications Incorporated, first floor and patio, located at 45 First Street Northwest, Massillon, Ohio, 44647. Those permit classes are a D1 and a D2, and is located in Ward 2.
Does Councilman Lombardi have a copy of that one?
Yes, ma'am.
That one you did. You do not?
You did not, I said I'll give them copies tonight.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
All right. Are there any bills, accounts, and claims?
Yes, we have a bill in the amount of $629.92 for the publication of our December ordinances. And we have a bill in the amount of $64.12 for the publication of our notice of public hearing. And we have a bill in the amount of $133.35 for the February payment on our copier, for a total of $827.39.
Councilman Lewis?
Make a motion that we pay the bills?
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick,
Yes.
and Hermke.
Yes.
8 yes to pay the bills.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The clerk will pay the bills and charge them to their proper accounts. Reports from city officials.
Yes, we have the mayor's report of January 2022 and the auditor's report of January 2022.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, I make a motion that we accept the auditor's report?
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Hermke,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes to accept the auditor's report.
Thank you. The auditor's report has been accepted. Reports of committees. Our next work session will be Monday, February 28th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Resolutions and requests of council members. Councilman Lewis.
Yes, I just wanted to take a moment and speak to the fact that we've received a concern from a citizen regarding public speaks at work sessions. And I will just say that last week it was inadvertent, that no one had the opportunity to, and that was based primarily on the fact that we haven't had public speaks at work sessions for a few months now. So that was inadvertent, it was not intended at all. However, it does highlight an idea that I've slowly been thinking about and have addressed in other ways, and that is the appropriateness of public speaks during a work session. We don't have any governing rules or regulations stating that they will be in existence and how they will be structured. So I do make a request of the Rules and Courts Committee at the next work session that they would take up that discussion and see if it is something that this council would want to pursue, and if we did want to pursue, if we would at least formally place it within the rules and regulations of this council, so that all citizens are aware of how it will operate and this council would know what the expectation is.
Thank you. Anyone else? Call the calendar. We have nothing. Third reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 1, 2022.
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Massillon, Ohio by rezoning certain property from R1, one family residential, to B3, general business.
Councilman Kramer.
Thank you, Madam President. We had a public hearing this evening at 6 p.m. Regarding this ordinance. We had one individual, the applicant's representative, Les Hoffman, did speak regarding this request, stating that the zone change from R1, one family residential, to B3, general business district. The thoughts are going to be a retail facility, detail cars, used cars. This was recommended for approval by the November 10th City Planning Commission. Are there any council members that have any questions or anything to discuss regarding this request?
Councilman Gregg.
Madam President. I just wondered if you had any negative comments regarding this,
We had one individual, and it was just the applicant's representative
and he
that
was,
spoke.
and he was for this.
Correct.
Thank you.
Councilman Kramer?
Okay, seeing none, I make a motion to put this ordinance 1-2022 up for a vote.
Seconded by Councilman Lewis. Roll call.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Ern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 1, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 4, 2022.
An ordinance to accept the dedication of a sanitary sewer easement for Candell Street, southeast Massillon, Ohio.
Councilman Barrett?
Thank you, Madam President. I've been advised that the requirements haven't been met by the city yet, so I would like to table this till further notice.
Seconded by
You're tabling it indefinitely?
Exactly, until we get feedback from the administration.
Seconded by Councilman Kramer to table ordinance number 4, 2022 indefinitely. Roll call.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Ern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sneed.
Yes.
8 yes to table ordinance number 4 indefinitely.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 4, 2022 has been tabled indefinitely. Ordinance number 5, 2022.
An ordinance to accept the dedication of the road right-of-way and approve the replat of Outlot 927, Massillon, Ohio.
Councilman Barrett?
Thank you, Madam President. I've also received similar notification on this one to table it until the requirements of the city building department, code department has been fulfilled.
Councilman Lewis?
Just wanted to make a request of Mr. Thayer. Is this the one that we had the citizens speak on?
Yep. That's what this is.
Could we maybe make this for the last meeting in March? That way those citizens at least know that there's a time where it may come back up. Because if we do indefinitely, they won't know when it might show back up.
That's fine. I have no objection to that. I was just advised that they don't have the requirements met, so we can set any date, can't we?
Yeah.
How about the last work session? Well, regular session?
March 21st.
That sounds about right, yes. Thank you.
Seconded by Councilman Kramer. Or did you have a question? Seconded by Kramer. Roll call to table ordinance number 5, 2022 till March 21st, 2022.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Ern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
8 yes to table ordinance number 5, 2022 until March 21st, 2022.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 6, 2022 has been tabled till the last, number 5, 2022 until March 21st, 2022. Ordinance number 6, 2022.
An ordinance to accept the dedication of a sanitary sewer easement in the city of Massillon, Ohio.
Councilman Barrett.
Thank you, Madam President. I was advised accordingly on this one also that the requirements have not been met yet. So let's go with the same date then, the 21st of March. Table until then.
Fine.
If I get it out then. Thank you.
Do you have a second? Councilman Kramer. Roll call.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Ern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes to table ordinance number 6 until March 21st, 2022.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 6, 2022 22 has been tabled till March 21st of 22. Yes, Councilman Hurricane.
Madam President, I have a question on these three. Were these issues that came up subsequent to these ordinances being submitted to council, or were they, I guess I'm curious if all three had not met requirements, why they're on the agenda?
Councilman Barrett.
A question that I asked also. I don't have an answer, except that they were, requirements weren't met by the city.
Councilman Lewis.
Mr. Bear, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they came to us and then the law department reviewed them and caught something that they didn't like, and then they're trying to work through.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you, that's accurate. That's what we were told last session.
Thank you. Second reading ordinances and resolutions, ordinance number 11, 2022.
An ordinance amending Chapter 20, Erosion and Sediment Control, Section 20.01B, 920.07A, 920.10B of the codified ordinances of the city of Massillon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
Thank you, Madam President. So again, this ordinance is just to codify the ordinances with each of these as discussed in last work session. I would like to put forward to a vote unless anybody has heard from any of their constituents, any opposition to any of these ordinances. Raise your hand now. Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 11, 2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Howard Smith.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 11, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 12, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for, receive, and evaluate statements of qualifications, and to negotiate and enter into contracts for the design and the inspection of the SIPO sanitary sewer replacement project, all in accordance with Section 153.65 to 153.73 of the Ohio Revised Code and the City of Massillon qualification-based selection, QBS process, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
If there's no opposition to this, I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 12-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
and Lewis. I'm sorry, Hurricane.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 12, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 13, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of Board of Control for the SIPO sanitary sewer replacement project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 13, 2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Snead.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 13, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 14, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for, receive, and evaluate statements of qualifications, and to negotiate and enter into contracts for the design and the inspection of the 26th Street Northwest Area Storm Sewer Improvement Project, all in accordance with Section 153.65 to 153.73 of the Ohio Revised Code and the City of Massillon Qualifications-Based Selections QBS process, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings of bring ordinance number 14-2022 forward for a vote, please.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwood Smith,
Yes.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 14, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 15, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the 26th Street Northwest Storm Sewer Improvement Project, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings of bring ordinance number 15-2022 forward for a vote, please.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Harvick Smith,
Yes.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
Councilman Gregg.
You didn't get my vote.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Gregg,
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Harvard Smith.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 15, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 16, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for, receive, and evaluate statements of qualifications, and to negotiate and enter into contracts for the design and the inspection of the 20th Street Southeast Area Storm Sewer Improvement Project, all in accordance with sections 153.65 to 153.73 of the Ohio Revised Code and the City of Massillon Qualifications-Based Section, QBS process, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings of bring ordinance number 16-2022 forward for a vote, please.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
and Vern Kane.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Vern Kane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 16/2022 is passed. Ordinance number 17/2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of Board of Control for the 20th Street Southeast Area Storm Sewer Improvement Project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 17-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Snead.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 17/2022 has passed. Ordinance number 18/2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for, receive, and evaluate statements of qualifications, and to negotiate and enter into contracts for the design and the inspection of the North Erie Canal, Burton Avenue Northeast Storm Sewer Improvement Project, all in accordance with the sections 153.65 to 153.73 of the Ohio Revised Code and the City of Massillon Qualifications-Based Selection, QBS process, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to make a motion, we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 18-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 18/2022 has passed. Ordinance number 19/2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the North Erie Canal, Burton Avenue Northeast Storm Sewer Improvement Project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
I'd like to make a motion, we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 18-2022 forward for a vote, please.
Second by.
I apologize, 19-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Harvard Smith,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Harvard Smith.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 19/2022 has passed. Ordinance number 20/2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for, receive, and evaluate statements of qualifications, and to negotiate and enter into contract for inspection of the Tuscarawas River Protection Project, all in accordance with sections 153.65 to 153.73 of the Ohio Revised Code and the City of Massillon Qualifications-Based Selection QBS process, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Snead.
I've seen the before and after renditions to this Dust River protection project, and I just wanted to take a second and say that I'm really in favor of this one. I think the citizens of Massillon are really going to enjoy what this is going to look like for our city after this is done. With that said, I'd like to make a motion we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 20-2022 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardwick Smith. Yes. And Hernkane.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardwick Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 20-2022 is passed. Ordinance number 21-2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the Tuscarawas River Protection Project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Sneed.
I'd like to make a motion we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 21-2022 forward for a vote, please.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardwick Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardwick Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sneed.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 21-2022 is passed. Ordinance number 22-2021.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for and receive sealed bids and to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder upon the approval of the Board of Control for the Hills and Dales Road Pipe Replacement Project and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Sneed.
I'd like to make a motion that we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance number 22-22 forward for a vote, please.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gregg,
Yes.
Hardwick Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 22-2022 is passed. 29-2022.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to advertise for, receive, and evaluate statements of qualifications and to negotiate and enter into contracts for the design and the inspection of the Erie Street South Improvement Project, all in accordance with sections 153.65 to 153.73 of the Ohio Revised Code in the City of Massillon Qualifications-Based Selection QBS process and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Barrett.
Thank you, Madam President. Is there any other discussion needed for this ordinance? It's pretty straightforward. We went through it all. In that case, I move that we waive the rules requiring 3 readings and bring ordinance 29-2022 up for vote tonight.
Second by Councilwoman Kramer. Roll call for suspension.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Hernkane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Harwick Smith.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 29, 2022 is passed. Ordinance number 32, 2022.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio, to submit applications for funding to the Ohio Public Works Commission for the funding year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, is there any additional questions or comments in regard to this ordinance? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bring ordinance number 32-2022 for approval.
Second by Councilman Gregg. Roll call for suspension.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
and Hernkang.
Yes.
8 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harwick Smith,
Yes.
Hernkang,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 32, 2022 is passed. We are at that point of the agenda, number 17, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing none, Mayor, do you have anything for us this evening? Do you know anything about Batman? There's a guy running around Massillon in a Batman outfit.
What are we robbing?
I don't know.
Good evening, Madam President, members of council. I did want to report just 2 things this evening. First, I'd like to thank you for voting all the infrastructure legislation through. And that gives us an opportunity for Greg to get out and really go out to bid for these items. And I do appreciate the expediency on that, so thank you. Our ladder truck has come in, and we paid with that with our workers' comp money, a little over $900,000, and it will be out in service sometime in April. So they're adding a few things to it, and then you'll see it soon. The other thing I wanted to report is Detective Dadisman and officers from our police department assisted in obtaining 2 one-pound bags of meth, and we got that off the street. So just a great job by our officers and our detective. I think that's really important that when something like this happens, you all know, because we do have drugs in our city, as every city does, and but they are working hard to get it off the street. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Harwick Smith, would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second by Councilman Kramer. Meeting adjourned.